Hello, dear friends. In this video, I want to talk to you about self-esteem. That's basically it. How to cook up this dish and how to ultimately destroy it. I'll tell you how to dispose of self-esteem. The first thing you have to understand is that we have self-worth. That's it, yes, and there is self-esteem. That's what we inflate or present to other people, what we think about ourselves and what we show to other people. Something like this and something like that. Like yesterday when I went fishing with my child, we caught a pike about this big, but we told everyone else that we caught a pike this big and then released it. So there's what's real, and then there's what we imagine, make up, and present to other people. What can help us raise or restore our diminished self-worth? And why do we exaggerate it as much as possible to the maximum? Because this is what we're left with, because it's uncomfortable, it's inconvenient, it's really bad, it feels inadequate. But if I do something about it, I'll have a big body and a beautiful body. If I have a big car, if I have a lot of money, if I have beautiful clothes, expensive clothes, if I travel, if my Instagram is such that everyone envies me, then my self-esteem grows, compensating for my low self-worth. That's it, remember that. What needs to be done in order to work through low self-worth and restore your self-esteem levels is that if your self-esteem is inflated, it will come down a bit to the level it needs to be. But in the end, I'll tell you that it actually needs to be removed altogether. Why it should be removed, I'll explain at the end of the video. An adult shouldn't have self-esteem at all. The first thing you need to work through is the experience of shame, humiliation, and inferiority. This means you have personal experiences where you felt ashamed about something, you were shamed, you felt shame, humiliation when someone humiliated you, and inferiority when you compared yourself to someone else or when someone compared you to others. For example, parents compare, look, Masha gets good grades, but you're such a fool. You're just a bungler, you can't do anything right. These kinds of comparisons make us feel inferior, especially since a parent is an unquestionable authority. This needs to be worked through. There is a process for working through this when recovering from a breakup, and there is also a process for it in the course. By the way, what I'm telling you right now is part of the self-worth recovery course, which starts with us every 1.5 to 2 months or so, and lasts about a month to a month and a half as well. So you can join one of the upcoming sessions. The next one starts, I think, the day after tomorrow. Check the date and you'll see. The second thing you need to get rid of is to work through your shyness and self-consciousness. Because even after you get rid of shame, humiliation, and feelings of inferiority, you still have a learned pattern of behavior, how to act if someone is authoritative, if they put pressure on you, or if they're simply dominant in front of you or over you, then you still have shyness and self-consciousness. You need to get rid of this experience. The process of working through it is exactly the same as with shame, humiliation, and feelings of inferiority. The third mechanism is that you need to eliminate the alpha and beta dynamic. This relates to our own gender, that is man to man, woman to woman, alpha male or beta male. And so in front of me there's either an alpha or a beta. And so we play this game. There's a high status person in front of me. I feel more inferior, which means I'm a second-rate alpha. In other words, I'm the beta and he's the alpha. All men are born alphas, alpha males. It's inherent in all of them. The only thing is we end up in families where this alpha male is either lifted up or brought down to a beta. But every man has an alpha male inside. And in a good relationship, a woman can use her wisdom to bring out and nurture the alpha male in, say, some nerd, an academic, a guy with glasses. She can raise that up in him, cultivate it, and help him solidify his alpha male qualities, his self-confidence. You can actually get rid of this whole game. You can step out of it entirely. There's no alpha, no beta, just some high-status person in front of you. It doesn't matter if he's taller or has more money. It's all the same. A bigger car, more expensive clothes, a manager. It just doesn't turn on for you. You treat them, this person is just a person to you, that's all. There's none of that game, which usually switches on for you, but here that response is off, and that's it. You already function without it, you live without it, and you work without it too. The next mechanism is that you need to accept your body and face, accept yourself, your appearance, accept it as it is. It's not just a quick glance, oh well, I accept it as it is. No. You actually look for what you don't like. You deliberately search for it. This is what I don't like. I don't like this and I don't like that. What do you feel? Is there some kind of rejection, disgust, maybe squeamishness, horror when you look at it, some kind of hatred? All of that excess needs to be removed. Any rejection of your body, of parts of your body, needs to be eliminated, whether it's about your hair color, it doesn't matter at all. where your mole is, what your teeth are like. It absolutely doesn't matter. All of this is removed through working it through. In principle, you can get rid of it in one go or maybe in 2 sessions and accept your body as it is. Acceptance doesn't mean neglecting it. For example, I'm this big chubby girl, right? I accept my body as it is. Well, look at this wonderful little belly. No, that's not the point. The wonderful little belly. Yes, I am who I am. I accept myself. But this excess weight affects my health. It raises my blood pressure. I have trouble walking, trouble breathing. This can be worked on as well. Why? Because why would you need it? You can work on it at the gym or by managing your diet. That's it. So in general, when it comes to accepting your body or people get plastic surgery, if you have the opportunity, if not, then not accepting yourself is definitely some kind of blasphemous thing. Why not accept yourself? And you can't do anything about it. What does non-acceptance lead to? To what? To pain. And why do you need pain? There are other ways to destroy yourself. Just kidding. Get rid of learned helplessness. You definitely need to get rid of it. Why? Because we all come from childhood. Decisions were made for us, and behind those decisions lies the devaluation of your previous choices, your desires, your goals. In general, recall the moments when your parents would say, all right, you just sit there with your know-it-all attitude, right? I know better, I know more, you. If there was such devaluation, then that's learned helplessness. Because you can have good self-esteem, but still never actually get started on anything. Why? Because, well, I tried to do something, but I already have this mechanism of learned helplessness. Somewhere back there, my parents are in the background, right? They're supposed to push me, make the decision for me. Of course, in quotation marks, but they're not there behind me. So what needs to be done next? Lower the need. To be liked, respected, and, well, to seek admiration. These are needs, a kind of parasitic form of life, and you live within them. Within these needs, you are forced to obey them. You are forced to seek out situations, forced to look for circumstances where these needs will be satisfied. You demand this from people, from those around you, whether it's by, I don't know, buying a car or by marrying a wealthy person, or even just starting some kind of conflict so that people will respect you. Just yelling at someone, because there is a need, the fear that you might not be respected. Well, our need for respect, there's a chance that I might not be respected, so I'll yell in advance, right? And that way I'll feel comfortable and calm. These mechanisms are very serious, guys. We like respect, admiration. That's why you need to get rid of them as part of working on your self-esteem. And in the end, you need to eliminate self-esteem altogether. That is, you've normalized it. All the experiences have been worked through. Nothing is resonating anymore. So you remove self-esteem. Why? You shouldn't have it because you are an adult. If you can hear me and you're already taking care of your own life, able to earn money, cook, protect, build, basically do everything on your own, and you're already raising your own children, there should be no self-esteem. We must draw a conclusion. Children need self-esteem as a sign. You should go there. You will be great. If you do this, you will be, oh, you can't be stupid like that. You need to study because then you'll be a good boy or girl. And you should do this. And when you walk down this corridor, the one your parents lead you through, it's the corridor of their values because they believe that this and that is the right way. It's the same with the feeling of guilt. Don't go there. Don't shame your parents. And so they went out. Then you go on and do the same thing in your relationships and you lead your own children down this corridor as well. And in the end, we have a damaged... Oh yes, Earthlings are damaged. That's what I wanted to say. Russians? No, all Earthlings are damaged. Self-esteem is damaged by all of this. It shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't suffer because someone out there has some opinion about you. If any negativity comes your way, you filter it out. If there's some constructive criticism, well, for example, maybe I just said something wrong. Someone might say, Alexei, you're not speaking correctly, you're connecting words wrong, you forget words or something like that. Yes, that happens. Well, yes, that's just how I am. That's it, thank you. I know how to develop this, I know how to restore it. That's all. But if someone also says that you shouldn't be like this because people like that should just sit somewhere in a corner or wherever, that kind of destructiveness, it's just like talking to a window and saying, the weather is terrible, it's awful. Does your weather analysis mean anything to the window? And what about the weather? It doesn't matter. You see? It should not be perceived as destructive. Children can perceive destructiveness, and they often take their parents' destructive behavior as constructive. They internalize it and then go through life on crutches, relying on supports that don't actually exist. They are all here. So all these imaginary crutches, thinking I'm not good enough or I have to be a certain way, and only then will everyone accept me, only then will I be valued, it's all here. And you spend years of your life on this? Years, time. How many years do people spend at work just to get that position? Not even for the money, but just for the status. A higher status, the money's already fine. But still, I'll become a director or something even higher, bigger, build an empire. But why? Who is controlling this whole process? Right here. And when you calm all of that down, quieter and quieter until it's completely gone, I'm an adult. You look back and think, how much time did I spend compensating for this, doing all that? When all of that is restored and removed, that's it. There's only a constructive attitude toward your own life and toward those around you. Why pressure these people? You won't even want to compensate anymore. But some people go in for hypercompensation. Hypercompensation is when things get blown out of proportion. That is, we exaggerate this a lot in order to compensate for that uncomfortable, distressing feeling of worthlessness. All of this is worked through in the self-worth restoration course.